Hello and welcome to Movies with My Dad, the podcast where I, film critic Tina Cacadelis, take my dad Stratis to the movies. This week we saw Smile 2, directed by Parker Finn, starring Rosemary DeWitt, Lucas Gage, and Naomi Scott. Join us on the spoiler-filled car ride home. Okay, Father.
Why do you always start like that?
How would you like me to start it?
A little happier or something.
Hi, Father.
Why don't you smile?
I am. It's an audio medium. An auditory medium. Okay, what did we see?
Smile 2. The Revenge of something.
No, this one doesn't have a fancy... It's not Smile 2 Folly Ado. My goodness. Okay.
So you want to give... Since you've watched Smile 1...
Correct.
You want to give a little background on the entire Smile universe?
Verse, if you will.
Smile verse.
There's this demon spirit thing that essentially jumps from person to person that makes them slowly go crazy, see people smiling, creepy smiles, and it's passed along. Nobody survives longer than 7 days once they've been quote-unquote infected with the smile disease, if you would like to call it that. The demon, the smile demon.
So if it's not obvious, this is a horror film. Suspense horror.
No, this was a rom-com.
There was no rom-com.
There was com.
There was some com, I suppose.
I was laughing.
You also jumped out of your skin.
Okay, no. No. I lightly jumped at that one part. No, you're just mad because you literally jumped back in the substance. Anyway.
I don't think so.
Whatever. So, after 7 days, the demon thing makes you kill yourself in some traumatic way in front of...
I don't think it has to be traumatic.
They're all... Which one of those wasn't traumatic?
They were, but I don't know that was a requirement of the demon. I think you just need to kill yourself.
No, it has to be in a traumatic way. I think that's what they talk about in the first one.
Okay. I don't have the lore.
And so the first one, or this one, starts 6 days after the first one ends.
Oh, really?
That's why it said 6 days later.
I didn't realize that was 6 days later after the first one. Okay.
So 6 days later after the first one ends.
Did I need to see the first one?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think okay.
No. Except, no, but...
Was that guy, the first guy we saw?
Yes, the first guy.
He was in the first movie?
He was the cop who was trying to help the woman.
He was a cop? I thought he was a high school friend of hers.
No, that guy wasn't. The guy who, holds up the...
Oh, in the New Jersey drug house.
Yes.
Okay, with the Russian mob.
Yes.
What was the burning effigy for?
She was dying. It's left open-ended in the first one of the woman who gets the smile disease in the first one, how it ends, whether or not she dies. So that was them.
So they're just cleaning up.
Loose ends.
Loose ends.
Yeah, because this, I think, was dumped on a streaming service 2 years ago, was not expected to do well at all. And then it blew streaming out of the water. I think maybe it got a small theatrical release, but definitely not
Same
big.
Director, same writer?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think so, though. I feel pretty confident. Anyway, so eventually the smile disease gets passed on to a pop star. And she's already troubled and unwell. What'd you think?
So, I have very mixed emotions.
I'm going to turn you into a horror movie fan. I can't wait.
So here's the thing with this one, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, it's a horror movie.
Right.
But it really wasn't a traditional, what I think of a horror movie. It didn't feel...
What do you mean? What do you think of as a horror movie? I think we've talked about this before. But...
Yeah, I guess I'm stuck in the 1980s horror movies that were all just slashers and killers. And they just...
You mean like Halloween, where there's no real plot except Michael Myers?
Right. That's it.
Okay.
So that's where I stopped watching horror. I was like, I don't need any more of these. I stopped.
That's fair.
But this one, I had a hard time with... I really liked her. The actress, who is she?
She's so good.
She's phenomenal.
Naomi Scott.
Nothing but
respect for the Pink Power Ranger.
Seriously?
In the reboot that nobody watched.
Oh,
but I saw it 3 times in theaters. Princess Jasmine in the live action Aladdin
with Will Smith.
with Will Smith, and then she was also in the reboot of Charlie's Angels with Kristen Stewart. If you watched that,
I don't know.
well,
anyways,
that's what she's been up to. She's also a singer. She sings as well.
I was wondering because she did that whole. So she portrayed a Lady Gaga-like singer, or like any of the large.
She's a pop star, yeah.
Pop star
I
singers
think
of
you just
the
got
day.
Lady Gaga on the mind
It's true, but there was a lot of Lady Gaga-like aspects to it,
because of like the glasses and like the sparkly leotard
and the movements
things.
of the dancers. I thought that was similar.
How much like are you watching Lady Gaga's dancers to be like that was borrowed?
I love the
That's
one
crazy.
sequence they did
Where they
with
turn her?
tumbling her, right? They
Yeah,
pick
where they
her up
turn her?
and turn her, and she's like stuck in a
Yeah.
pose, and they just cartwheel her
So
in a way.
good.
That was really cool.
So good.
I mean, I loved all of that. So here's my thing: most of the times you watch a horror movie, and you sit back and go, I don't really care about these people. They're just expendable. They're here to scare me,
Right.
Or to get killed so I can be
Right.
scared. I really like this character.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this woman. I felt so sad for her. I mean, she's going through. I mean, obviously, this is a metaphor for what's going on in this lady's life. Mm-hmm. Right? It has nothing to do with this demon. Mm-hmm. Am I going somewhere with this?
Yeah.
Okay. And I really felt I felt horrible for her. The stress of the tour, the stress of her mom, the stress of everyone idolizing her and wanting her to do this and
Poking and prodding
and prodding. Mm-hmm. I didn't want the demon to get her. I wanted her to get out of this thing.
That's a
big spoiler.
I wish that it didn't. I wish she had made it out because
she tried right at the end.
Right.
She's like, "You're not real. I can fight back at you.
Right.
I can overcome."
I wish
And
that
then
that would have been the difference.
It didn't happen.
Because like in the first one, like they do the similar thing. I think this one far better than the first one. I think a far different experience than the first one. I really like this one a lot. A lot more than I liked the first one. I liked the first one enough. I thought it was interesting. It had very similar themes of like generational trauma, and that was what they were using. Like instead of the demon being like addiction and like anxiety and things like that, the manifestation of it. In the first one, it was like generational trauma and like mental illness. And in the first one, you learn that the demon skipped over a guy because he technically died. And so I was like, well, her technically dying is not going to solve it in this one. So that was the thing that I was like, you don't need to know that because it doesn't really make a difference. But then I was like, did they forget that? Or like, what's the plan here? And then I was like, oh, when she like took control and was like, I'm in control.
Well, you
I'm
also
in the
couldn't
car.
figure out which parts were real and which parts were just in her head.
Right, which I really liked. I think they did like a very good job of like blending it and like making them seem like very malleable. But when she took control, I was like, oh, that's how they're going to get over the issue with what they established in the first one, that even if you die, the demon can still pass itself on. Which I guess, and so I was hoping that she would defeat it, like for herself,
Right.
But then you could have like some cutesy little after credit thing of like showing that the demon is still alive and well. Because I'm sure they'll make
there was
more.
no way they could turn down the ending.
Infecting all of the content. I know, but then I was like, most of our fans are probably like tweens, and then I was like, I don't feel good about this. I love the last shot. I think the last shot is so good. The prosthetic work in this movie, out of control. So good. Like the prosthetic and the special effects work, so good.
It was impressive. I didn't need to see all. Again, I was in a different movie for a while.
What do you mean?
And not in a horror movie. I was.
Yeah.
And I don't know. As dad, I guess I feel sad for whoever wrote this. Are they fighting this kind of inner demon on their own?
I mean,
and this is their way of handling it by writing these movies?
A lot of people do. Mike
so
Flanagan, who is a director that you know not.
Hang on a second. Hang on. If you were to have, this is a trigger warning for anyone, right? If you have any issues with feeling mentally unstable or anything, do not go see this movie, because I feel like it's just going to send anyone over the deep end. I'm not sure I'm going to make it through the night kind of thing.
You?
I'll be all right. But, I mean, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Sorry to interrupt, but it was so intense to me.
I was just going to say, a lot of people use, like, horror as a medium for their trauma and, like, a way of exploring it, because you can go outlandish, you can go gory, intense, and everything, and it's kind of an outlet. Like, Mike Flanagan, I don't think you've seen anything Mike Flanagan has done.
Is that the director?
Not this director.
Oh.
But he had, like, a long time issue with, like, growing up in the Catholic Church, and he made this really beautiful mini-series called Midnight Mass. That's the horror series. That is phenomenal. But it feels very similar, of, like, people using this as, like, a means of processing their inner darkness, because it, like, obviously, I don't have anything...
Inner torture. Don't call it their darkness.
I mean, I was going to say, I have nothing like the pop star in the movie, but, like, the anxiety and feeling like everyone is lying to you, like, that feels very resonant. Like, I'm not ripping my hairs out, thank goodness, because I didn't like that part.
No. There's very little you could like about the way she was tortured.
Oh, no, I just mean in terms of, like, having to see it in a movie.
Oh. I gotta admit, I'm more comfortable when somebody that has these kind of things are trying to work out, if they go to the comedy route. It's a lot easier to deal with that.
I mean, I guess, but it's just a different means of processing it.
It is, but...
I'm glad that you're seeing that horror movies are multifaceted, though.
Yeah, but do I want to see more?
I don't know. It depends. This was a good one.
This was a good movie.
Yeah? Look at you!
I mean...
This is crazy. Because you know what's crazy? This was the fucking substance.
Hey.
Sorry, I'll bleep it.
Now we're going to have to bleep that out.
I'll bleep it. I'm editing. It doesn't affect you at all. This was the substance.
No.
This is, like, so much of the substance.
Yeah, and substance didn't do it for me.
Okay, because it came out of her stomach instead of her back?
No. I really think
demon?
it was... What's her name? Sorry.
Naomi Scott?
Naomi was just... brought it home. I mean, she carried the entire movie. She really did.
Because it was mostly her.
It was really 98% her.
Yeah.
And she carried it beautifully.
So good.
Yeah.
I wish she was in more stuff. She's not in a ton of things, which is very sad, but man, she was great in it. And she's got such a good, like, scream face, when she's screaming. Some people...
Oh, that Scream.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Not like the movie Scream.
No, like they could put her in that famous Scream painting.
Oh, yes. I don't know who painted that.
I don't know.
But I know the one you mean.
Scream. The Scream. Yeah, I mean, I laid it out for you perfectly. I don't really know what led you down. I did guess the twist of the friend not really being there, though.
Oh, actually, I thought the friend was going to get infected. I thought that's how it was going to end. She was going to die in front of her own friend.
No, I knew the friend was not there.
Well, did you know that she didn't actually kill her mother?
No, I did not. I thought she killed her mom, and I was like, you know what?
So
Your
what
mom
about the
kinda
guy from the
sucked.
bar?
If he was real or not?
Yeah, was he real or not?
I don't think so.
So she
because
went to
she
this...
says that she went to a pizza hut.
She went to a pizza hut all by
Island.
herself to this Pizza Hut?
I mean, your mind makes you do crazy things, like when you're when you're in the darkness and you're just swirling and spinning and you can't figure it out. Like, you go to the Pizza Hut in Staten Island. Who among us at our lowest has not gone to or ordered from a Pizza Hut? That is true representation right there. Absolutely.
I feel like there's got to be a whole meme about the Pizza Hut, and who amongst us hasn't gone to the Pizza Hut in Staten Island? It should be like a line you use.
Well, there you go, Dad. You're one of the first audiences to see the movie, so it's your job to start it.
Oh, that's right. This was it's not a premiere, it's a
press screening.
Mm-hmm. But the public was there. And
it's a mix.
Shall we also mention
the child?
The poor parenting of this person?
I don't know why we keep ending up at horror movies with children in it.
I mean, this one was, he was a little older. He might have been like 11 or 10.
No, that was...
Oh, no, you're right. I guess maybe he's 9. You're right.
Yeah,
maybe
they were
like
8,
but
7, 8, or 9.
Why do you bring a kid to this?
I have no idea. That would give me nightmares.
It's going to give me nightmares. I don't know what it's going to do to this kid.
You're going to have a night... The light is red.
Yeah.
And then why did you accelerate to it from a stop? My goodness.
I'm a little
on edge.
So, I mean, that was the other part of this, because she was reliving a traumatic experience of
a car accident
that she caused.
Right.
So there was that on top of the pressures of her tour.
Yeah.
It's like, how
this
much
is
more
gonna ruin the tour.
How much more can you put on top of this poor person?
No.
I mean, the only thing equivalent here is, like some military person with post-traumatic stress. I mean, it just felt like that level of anxiety and pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And
I did like that it kind of like, I think pop stars are now starting to more like talk about the obscene things that like tour managers have forced them through. And like, I like that this kind of touch base with that, and also touch base with like the parasocial relationships that people form with celebrities, and like how sometimes you can play a part in that if you're like one of like the crazy obsessive ones that take it too far.
Is there an award to give to that one child?
Oh my gosh, I want to see the creepy
13-year-old pigtail.
I think it was that long. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I would love to see the casting session for that. Like just all of these 13-year-old girls smiling like little creeps.
Come on in, stare like psychotically, and put a smile on your face. Go.
Jack Nicholson in The Shining's got nothing on that girl. True. My goodness. Oh my goodness. No, I was really impressed.
Any idea who the older lady was at the benefit?
No.
She looked very familiar, like an actress. Huh?
She didn't look familiar to me.
She looked like an actress from the 70s or something. I'll have to look her up.
I also really liked that the trailers did not give a lot away. Like,
no.
The trailers kept the friend entirely out of it.
Actually, you know what the trailers did?
They kept the accident out of it. What?
They made me not want to see it.
Well, respectfully, I don't think there would be a trailer of this movie that would make you want to see it. I don't think you could cut it.
You might be right on that.
I don't think there's a way that you could cut it that you would watch it. And I don't think you would turn it on if I didn't bully you into it.
Well, I wouldn't watch it if we weren't doing this podcast, that's for sure.
I think you still could have enjoyed it. You said you liked it.
I said I would never have gone to watch it.
Right, and you never would have picked it on streaming because like the poster is her
So why do you keep
smile.
taking me to the really bad movies when you can take me to good movies like this?
You took us to the last couple.
I love Joker.
Get out of
Folie à deux.
Okay, so we're home. How many Pizza Huts?
Oh, no, it's not Pizza Huts.
What is it?
It's Voss water bottles.
Man, if you've tried to chug a Voss water bottle...
I don't know how she
she did that. That is...
Drink down entire, what is that, like 30 ounces of water?
Okay, that is
at a
not
shot?
30 ounces.
Okay,
That's like 18.
25, 18? It's
But
still a ridiculous amount.
And that water bottle, I've tried to chug one of those water bottles. The mouth is so big that it's so hard. I was so impressed. Okay,
so definitely Voss water bottles.
How many Vosses are you giving it?
For a horror film
I thought you were going to say 4.
Type thing, I'm going to give it a 4.
Whew.
For every average person, I don't know if you really want to go.
What about you? Your personal rating.
My personal inner rating, it's probably a 3.
And your outer rating?
No, my horror rating is a 4. It's a good movie. I really liked it.
Wow.
And you?
A 4. I liked it.
All right.
It could have been like 20 minutes shorter, but...
It could have been, because it did have like multiple endings I kept seeing.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
a 4.
Smile, Tina.
Bye.
Night.
That's it for this week's episode of Movies with My Dad. You can find all of our episodes online at movieswithmydad.com. You can also send us an email at movieswithmydadpod@gmail.com. My dad is desperate to hear from you. You can find me, Tina, on Twitter at Captain Ameripug or letterboxed at Tina_DOCX. You can find my dad at our local Home Depot. Tune in next week when we head back to the movies.